You've just passed a law that will condemn 50,000 families to poverty. The businessman who wrote the law has just transferred $2 million to your campaign, and tonight you'll give a speech about serving the people. But that's level 6. Let's start back when you still believed you were going to change the world. Level 1, campaign volunteer. You're 22 years old and you've just graduated with a degree in political science. You watch the news and feel outraged. Corruption, poverty, injustice. You decide you're going to be different. There's a candidate for local congressman who promises to end corruption from the inside. You join his campaign as a volunteer. You don't get paid. You sleep on the campaign manager's couch. You eat 10 peso tacos shared among 5 volunteers. Your job is to knock on doors 12 hours a day. Out of every 100 doors, 95 are slammed in your face. The other 5 listen, but promise nothing. On election day, you work 20 hours straight. Your candidate wins. You're euphoric. You believe change starts now. Your candidate thanks you in front of everyone and promises that if you work hard, you'll have a place on his team. 6 months later, you're still an unpaid volunteer. Level 2, assistant. You get officially hired. You earn 8,000 pesos a month, about $400. You're the assistant to the congressman you helped elect. You write his speeches, manage his social media, coordinate his schedule. On an ordinary Tuesday, you're in a meeting. Your boss meets with a real estate developer. They talk about a social housing project. At the end of the meeting, the businessman slides an envelope under the table. Your boss takes it without opening it. Then he tells you it's a legal campaign donation. You saw the envelope. You know it wasn't legal, but you say nothing because you need the job. 2 months later, they ask you to write a statement defending that housing project. You investigate. The project will destroy a public park where 3,000 children play. The developer donated $500,000 to the campaign. You write the statement. You justify it to yourself by saying, it's just a job. But something breaks inside you. Level 3, campaign manager. 3 years later, you're running the campaign of a candidate for mayor. They pay you 25,000 pesos a month during the 6 months of the campaign. You manage a budget of 5 million pesos. This is where you learn the real game. Your first lesson? Vote buying. In poor neighborhoods, you offer 300 pesos per vote. You organize events where you hand out food packages and take photos of voter ID cards to make sure they vote for you. Second lesson, dirty warfare. You hire trolls to spread fake news about the opponent. You invent a sex scandal that never existed. It works. The opponent drops 15 points in the polls. Your candidate wins. They offer you the job of Director of Communications for the municipality. Salary, 45,000 pesos a month. It's the first real salary of your life. You accept without hesitation. Level 4, city councilman. At 30, you decide to run yourself. The problem is money. A local campaign costs 3 million pesos. You don't have it. A real estate developer approaches you. I'll finance your whole campaign. I just need you to vote in favor of 3 projects when you win. You know exactly what projects he means. One will destroy 200 homes to build a shopping center. You accept because there's no other way. You spend 2 million on advertising, 1 million on direct vote buying. You win. On your first day as councilman, your official salary is 35,000 a month, but you receive another 50,000 in bonuses from ghost advisors. Total, 85,000 a month. First important vote, the businessman's project. You vote yes. 200 families end up on the street. You tell the press it's necessary economic development. And then comes the moment that changes everything. A local journalist publishes an investigation. He has proof of your meetings with the businessman, bank transfers, everything. The article goes viral. Your face is on every local news outlet as the corrupt councilman. You have 2 options, admit everything and resign, or strike back. You choose to strike back. You hire lawyers, trolls on social media, you make calls to the newspaper's advertisers. The businessman financing you controls half the advertising in local media. The newspaper comes under pressure. They fire the journalist. The scandal is buried in 3 weeks. You learn the most important lesson of your career. Power protects power. Level 5, federal congressman. 4 years later, you make it to Congress. You're 34 years old. Official salary, 120,000 a month. Real income, 400,000 between kickbacks, ghost employees, and commissions. The ghost employees are your new favorite business. You have 15 advisors on payroll. They're friends and family who do no work. Each one earns 25,000 a month. You keep 50%. That's an extra 187,500 every month. Your first big vote is a healthcare reform bill. There are two options: affordable generic medicine or protecting the patents of foreign pharmaceutical companies. A pharmaceutical company offers you $5 million for your foundation if you vote for option B. You vote B. The price of medicine goes up 300%. Thousands of people can't afford their treatment. You give an interview where you explain it was a complex, technical decision based on protecting innovation. You know it's a lie. Everyone knows it, but no one can prove it. Level 6, Senator. At 42, you're in the Senate. Official salary $150,000, real income between $800,000 and $2 million a month. Now you approve national budgets, decide which states receive funding. The biggest deal of your life arrives: energy reform. It allows foreign companies to exploit natural resources. $50 million is split among 20 key senators. Your cut is $8 million. You vote yes. The following Sunday, there's a march of 100,000 people protesting the reform you approved. Your 15-year-old son is watching the news. He asks you, "Are they right, Dad?" You turn off the TV without answering. That night, you don't sleep well. You take your first Ambien pill. With $8 million, you buy a penthouse in Miami for $3 million. You send the rest to an account in the Cayman Islands. Level 7, Governor. At 48, you control an entire state. Official salary $200,000 a month, real income between $3 and $5 million. You manage a state budget of $50 billion. You command the police. You decide infrastructure contracts. Then the big business arrives, a $2 billion highway. The construction company belongs to your cousin, a front man. You inflate the cost by 40%. Direct theft of $800 million. Your cut is $300 million. The highway is built cheaply to maximize profits. 2 years later, a bridge collapses. 15 people die. You declare it an inevitable tragedy and offer $50,000 to each family. The families reject the money and sue. Your lawyers bury the case for 8 years in legal technicalities. February 2016. A consortium of international newspapers publishes the Panama Papers. Your name is there, your offshore accounts, undeclared properties, payments from companies, everything. Your face is on the covers of the NYT, The Guardian, El País. You can't silence them the way you did with the local journalist 15 years ago. Your 18-year-old daughter confronts you. You always said you were different, that you were going to change things. You're worse than the ones you criticized. She moves in with your ex-wife. You got divorced 2 years ago. The Attorney General's office opens an investigation. There are marches demanding your resignation, but you have a plan. Level 8, Cabinet Secretary. The President needs you. You control too much money, too many votes. He appoints you Secretary of Infrastructure to protect you. As a federal official, you have immunity. The investigation stalls. Now you decide national contracts, airports, bridges, dams. A 15 to 20% commission is standard. The scandal continues. The media follows you everywhere. There are demonstrations every week, but you're shielded. Over 4 years, you accumulate another $200 million. Level 9, President. At 56, you reach the top. Your party needs you because you control the money. You spend $500 million on the campaign. You directly buy 3 million votes. You control TV networks. You win with 51%. There are accusations of fraud, but you bury them. On your first day, you appoint an attorney general who shuts down your investigation. You appoint friendly Supreme Court justices. Your first law, amnesty for political corruption crimes. You pardon yourself retroactively. You live in a palace fortress with 200 guards. 60% of the country hates you. The other 40% defends you out of tribal loyalty, not because they believe in you. Your 3 adult children do not attend your inauguration. Your oldest daughter is an anti-corruption activist. She publicly denounces her own father. You send trolls to attack her. 6 years in power. Poverty rises 40%, violence 300%, debt triples. But you and your circle accumulate $5 billion. On your last day, you leave through the back door. There is no ceremony. The new president refused to receive you. Outside, 200,000 people are shouting, "Corrupt." You get on a helicopter. Private jet to the airport. Destination, Madrid. Spain does not extradite for political crimes. You join 15 other Latin American ex-presidents in golden exile. Penthouse in Salamanca, $8 million. View of Retiro Park. 3 months later, your country issues an arrest warrant. Interpol rejects it. You will never set foot in a prison, but you can never return either. You try to go to Miami, they deny you a visa. Canada too. You are confined to Europe. Your days are identical. You have breakfast at the Ritz. You read newspapers calling you the most corrupt president in history. You give lectures at third-rate universities for $50,000. One Tuesday, you're in a cafe. A Mexican family walks in. The father says to his son, loudly enough for you to hear, "See that man? He stole the money from the schools. That's why your classroom has leaks." The boy looks at you. You lower your eyes. You pay and leave. That night, alone in your penthouse, you watch the news. They inaugurate a hospital you built. It costs $200 million on paper, $80 million in reality. The other $120 million has been split up. The hospital has no equipment or doctors, but it does have a plaque with your name on it. Protesters smash it with hammers. Your phone vibrates. Your daughter. You haven't spoken in 4 years. It's a photo of her wedding, 3 months ago. She didn't invite you. The message: I changed my last name to Mom's. My children will never know you were their grandfather. You block the number. You pour yourself $800 whiskey. You sit on the balcony overlooking Madrid. You have all the money, total immunity, 0 legal consequences. But you can't go back. Your children erased you. Your name is synonymous with thief. When you die, your legacy will be one line, considered one of the most corrupt presidents in history. This is impunity. It isn't prison. It's a golden exile where you have everything except the only thing you wanted at 22 years old, for people to respect you. That was politics. Let me know in the comments what other power system you want me to expose. See you.